For your Aranyi painting, the first thing that we want to focus on is creating a landscape in the mountains. That's where the most focus is for this project. I'm going to put some examples of her artwork in your Google Classroom. Her main thing is having the contrast of black and white on the bottom half and then color on the top. I'll show you how to do the watercolor in class because we're going to use salt for it as well. For this part, if your paper wants to be in portrait or landscape, I'll do this one in landscape since my last one was in portrait. Start first with a horizon line, which is in like the bottom third of your paper. Then think of a heartbeat for the mountains. So I'm going to go up, come down, not all the same. A big, crazy zigzag line going across. Now this next part is where we're going to draw this section. What I want you to do is at the very tippy top of the peak. Start at the peak, do kind of a crazy organic line coming down, not away, and then you're going to go to the left where this valley is. So we find another peak. Left of the valley. This one has a little valley, so I'm going to come down. I can make it a different shape and then touch that valley. Next peak. Going. Start the peak. Make sure you touch that valley. I have a lot of people that will try to come back to like the middle of the mountain. Maybe a little bit lower for some. Give it. Maybe this one is a little bit shorter. I only see a little bit of this mountain, so I'm going to go a slight diagonal. After you have that, we're going to get a skinny marker, Sharpie to be exact. I'm going to outline my mountains. The lines I made. If I can. At the end, I'll probably use an eraser to erase the pencil lines that you can see. Sure, don't make those lines completely straight. Clean it up a little bit. Now, this is where we use hatch lines. Hatch lines are lines that never touch, but add some dimension and some value to it. So where this diagonal line is, I'm going to keep that direction the whole. Pause the video at all before I move on. You can pause it. Put my marker, oh, Now, this looks okay, but I still feel like I have all this negative space in here. So I'm gonna go in and add some different shapes to show like maybe where the snow isn't on my mountains. So some organic shapes coming up, going in and adding those diagonal lines. Just gives it a little bit more. And for even more texture, if you want to go in and add some lines, have to do that if you don't want to. I think that it breaks up the monotony of the white. For the bottom of it, after you add some details, grab a pencil, and we're gonna have, you can have it be either a river or a road, but think of our 1-point perspective drawing, start at the very back, it's kind of an S shape, have it get wider, start that same point, stay pretty close to that S shape, and then you can start to come out a little bit. After that, for trees, let's mark where they're gonna be. Further away, smaller, closer, a little bit bigger. I'm gonna put a little tent over here. You can put whatever else you want if you want more trees. If you have rocks or something like that, you can. Mix in there. Just outlined my trees, or made where the trunk is gonna go. I'll start with a straight line, and then if I want them to be pine trees, I'm gonna do some layers of just lines. Texture. If I want one really far away, kind of curve them out as I go. I might have to make the trunk a little bit bigger. Better. Again, going in with my marker, or erase the pencil lines, trace your horizon line. I'm gonna add trees in my background because I feel like it looks a little sparse. If you want this to be water, you can lines coming down like how I did here. If you want to be more of a pathway, I'm going to add a thickness to it. Whole way. Make a straight line here, copy this line. Can add some like texture. And we're together, we're going to, I'll show you how to do the